Sunlight dappled the forest floor, and the air buzzed with the happy sounds of early summer. Little Bear Barnaby peeked from behind a large fern, watching the other young forest animals. Squirrel Squeaky was twirling, Rabbit Rosie was hopping in time, and even young Fox Finley was attempting a joyful leap. It was the annual Forest Frolic, and everyone was joining in the celebratory dance. Little Bear Barnaby loved music, and Little Bear Barnaby's paws often tapped to the rhythm of the woodpecker's drumming. But the idea of a dance in front of everyone made Little Bear Barnaby's tummy feel full of fluttering butterflies. Little Bear Barnaby was a little bit shy about a dance. What if Little Bear Barnaby tripped? What if Little Bear Barnaby's dance moves looked silly? So, Little Bear Barnaby stayed hidden, wishing to join but feeling too bashful. Old Owl Hoot, perched on a branch above, noticed the hesitant little bear. "Barnaby," Owl Hoot hooted softly, "why does Little Bear Barnaby not join the happy dance?" Little Bear Barnaby shuffled small bare feet. Little Bear Barnaby. Little Bear Barnaby thinks a bear dance might be too clumsy. Owl Hoot chuckled wisely. "Every creature has its own dance, Barnaby. Look at the bumblebees." Little Bear Barnaby looked towards a patch of wildflowers where plump bumblebees were buzzing. The bumblebees weren't twirling or leaping like the others, they were doing a wiggly, buzzy sort of dance as they moved from flower to flower. "Their dance helps them find the sweetest nectar," Owl Hoot explained. "It's a purposeful dance, and it's perfect for a bumblebee." Little Bear Barnaby watched the bumblebees, fascinated by their unique dance. They weren't trying to be squirrels or rabbits, they were just being wonderfully, buzzily themselves. "There is no right or wrong way to dance when it comes from the heart," Owl Hoot added. "The best dance is a joyful dance." Little Bear Barnaby thought about Owl Hoot's words. Maybe Little Bear Barnaby didn't need to dance like Squirrel Squeaky or Rabbit Rosie. Little Bear Barnaby could try a bear dance. A Barnaby dance. Taking a deep breath, Little Bear Barnaby stepped out from behind the fern. The other animals paused their dance for a moment, looking at Little Bear Barnaby with friendly curiosity. Little Bear Barnaby felt a blush creep up under thick fur. Then, Little Bear Barnaby remembered the bumblebees and their happy, wiggly dance. Soon, Little Bear Barnaby was swaying and stomping gently, creating a dance that felt just right for a little bear. It wasn't as fast as Squirrel Squeaky's or as high as Rabbit Rosie's, but it was Little Bear Barnaby's own happy dance. A big smile spread across Little Bear Barnaby's face as the joy of the dance took over. Squirrel Squeaky chittered encouragement, and Rabbit Rosie thumped a furry foot in approval. They all started to dance together again, each animal moving in its own special way. The forest clearing was filled with the wonderful energy of many different kinds of dance. Little Bear Barnaby discovered that to dance was simply to let happiness move through you. It didn't matter if it was a twirl, a hop, a leap, or a gentle bear sway. The important thing was the joy of the dance itself. From that day on, Little Bear Barnaby never worried about a clumsy dance again. Whenever the music played, or even when a happy feeling bubbled up inside, Little Bear Barnaby would dance with all of a little bear heart, just like the bumblebees.